Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jamesville-DeWitt Diamond here in DeWitt, New York. Sam Gelfand here, the voice of the Red Rams, as the Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams host the visiting Syracuse-Minoa Spartans. Hi, everybody. So happy to have you with us. The Spartans and the Red Rams actually played each other just last night. The Spartans fell to the Red Rams by a score of 9-3. We're looking to see if that result will be duplicated today. Of course, that game only starting at 5:15, so essentially almost a doubleheader between these two teams. However, Corey Kretsch, after putting up a fantastic game last night, will be the DH today. On the mound for the Red Rams to start things off is David Stewart. However, Stewart actually has a lower ERA than Kretsch. Only 5 innings of work this season, but a 1.80 ERA. In those 5 innings, allowed 4 hits, only 1 run, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. That's a whip of 140, the third lowest on the team. So the Red Rams are promising to start out hot against the Spartans. They have momentum and pitching on their side. And the Spartans, well, they're about 1-8 for one reason: run support. So if the Spartans' bats get hot today, who knows what could happen. But there's only one way to find out, and that's coming up right now. Stepping up to bat today for the Spartans is Spencer Carnival, the shortstop who will start things off. Once again, thank you so very much for joining us here live on JD.TV. Carnival, the righty, digs in. Ball inside to start us off. Now, if this is your first time joining us here on JD.TV for baseball at the very least, as Carnival pops one up, is there perhaps room for cone? No, it's going to go onto the street. If you're just joining us for baseball for the first time, in addition to my normal play-by-play duties, I am also keeping score and working the graphics, keeping the score that you see on your screen. So it might be a little more intermittent than we would like, but hey, I'm wearing many hats today. Counts 2 and 1. A lot going on today here at JD is another one popped up, foul on the right side. Got a lacrosse game coming up in about 1 hour, so JV is playing right now, and looks like some people are messing around in track and field. As Carnival hits one left side on the short porch and left, and it's going to be the shortstop Alexander who comes all the way over to bring it down. Nate Polano now will step up, the second baseman. It is a scorcher here in DeWitt today, only about 82 degrees, but with direct sun coverage feels a lot more than that. In fact, we're kind of hoping that the laptop doesn't overheat. We found a very small pink umbrella to put over the laptop, and hopefully that'll help as pitches fouled off. Breaking ball outside, 2 and 1. Stewart just a little bit outside. Of course, control is often the folly of many high school pitchers. And a 5-pitch walk will send Polano to first base. That'll bring up Jimmy Ferns, who has been a thorn in the side of Jamesville-DeWitt in 3 sports this year. Ferns, of course, a standout basketball player, pretty competent on the soccer field as well. We'll see how he does in baseball for the first time this season. Well, at least to us here on JDTV. We'll be kind of consider that a pitch out, keeping the runner honest. Also, do not forget that we have a comment section here, and we would love to hear from you. If you say something halfway intelligent, we might even read it out on the air. You know, that's how comment sections work. Quick visit between the shortstop Alexander and David Stewart, who has thrown about 6 straight balls. Of course, it is early in the game. Sometimes you just got to settle down. Baseball, more than any game, is a mental struggle at times. And finally hums one in. Runner on first, 1 out, 2-1 is the count. Ferns just has to watch as that fastball sinks through the trap door. 2-2. Wind is picking up here just a little bit. And Ferns is fanned with a swinging strikeout. That'll bring up Jacob White, the cleanup hitter. Pitch. There was a balk, it looks like. Let's see if we can get another look at it, see what it might have been. I believe Stewart may not have had his feet on the mound correctly. That's going to be my guess. Got the replay just a little bit too late. Or he may not have set up quite in time. Or taken enough time to set up, excuse me. So that would put the runner on second now with 2 outs. Foul tip to White. White was 1 for 3 last night with a single. Gets him to swing. Stewart has been eating at the bottom of the strike zone after he started readjusting following that walk. White popped it up, goes out, and about 30 feet behind us, so that's a relief. Because guess what? The sun is, well, it's 12 o'clock, sun's directly overhead. If that ball was a little closer to us, I would have lost it. White making contact once again, right side fouled off. And it's the mark of a good hitter, the mark of your cleanup hitter, really, to be able to stick around after finding yourself in an 0-2 hole and keep making contact till you find one you like. But he was not a fan of that. Strike 3. Stewart with 2 strikeouts to start the game, and we are tied at 0 heading in to the bottom of the first. We'll be right back after this. Thank you so very much for joining us on JDTV. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Jamesville-DeWitt High School in DeWitt, New York. Sam Gelfand, the voice of the Red Rams, as the Red Rams are about to get their first attempt at making some noise. It's Matt Alexander set to start things off, as he watches the ball just outside. On the mound for ESM today is Vinny Bova. Alexander takes a strike, though. Alexander has been on fire so far this season. A batting average of .474, an on-base percentage of .677. Grounder just foul. But here's the most amazing thing to me is that his on-base percentage is already .677. No wonder he's earned the leadoff spot. But his slugging percentage is even higher. The slugging percentage is .684. Not only does he get on base, he gets on multiple bases. Too high. In fact, Alexander has 9 hits to the season, 4 of them extra base knocks. But he watches the ball hum in. So Alexander, not with the start he wants, bringing up Carter King. King, if you haven't watched JD Baseball before, is the resident power threat. Guys like an aircraft carrier, everything that comes across deck is cleared for takeoff. 3 home runs on the season, the only 3 for the Red Rams. But he's quickly behind 0-2. Bova kicks and deals outside. The Red Rams bench, one of the loudest in Section 3, which really counts for something. Barely avoided hitting King, and hopefully he did not twist his leg in an improper manner, as he buckled trying to avoid the pitch. Next one, though, gets by him. 2 strikeouts in a row for Bova. That'll bring up Dante Santos, who's quietly been putting together something nice. .292 batting average, .393 on base percentage. And finding his rhythm. He's got a compact swing. And Santos takes one for a ride. Center field, right fielder calls it, though. Brought down by Sanson. And that will end the first inning. The Red Rams fail to put anything on the board. Both teams hitless through 1. So we'll be right back just after this for the start of the second inning. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the top of the second. Let's fix that score bug. There we go. Both teams struck out twice as there is a yellow jacket crawling on the fence in front of us. We will be monitoring this situation as it develops, but first Brad Harrington, the catcher, will take his first hacks. No hack there, though. In the first inning, both teams secured 2 strikeouts. 2 swinging, courtesy of the Red Rams pitcher Stewart, as that one is grounded over to first. Beats him by about 3 steps. So a 5-3 retires Harrington, bringing up Joe Federico. Brushes the numbers for the first ball. Trying to pitch him inside. You know what? You got to give him credit, though. A lot of high school pitchers afraid to go inside. They don't want to hit batters. So you have to give props to Stewart for giving it a try. A little high and inside. 3 quick balls. And a 4-pitch walk puts Federico on base. Now with 1 out and a runner on first, it's Garrett Hockey. And Hockey slings one into left field. Down with it is Sweeney, and he will hold the runner at first. Hockey tried to put everything he had behind it, but it backfired. And now it's the pitcher, Benny Bova, who takes a home run swing with nothing to show for it. Laser breaking ball too far outside. One in the dirt. Good job by Coe blocking it. Stewart looks at the runner. Contact Bova, diving grab by Bran. Steps on the bag, 3 outs. Nolan Bran with a great grab to end the top of the second. Unassisted with the putout, and we will be right back after this with the bottom of the second. Neither team puts a run on the board. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as Matt Sweeney steps into the box for the first time in this game. Neither team has a run on the board yet as we're in the bottom of the second inning. Bova working fast. Sweeney considered laying down a bunt, and instead he is plunked. A runner on first in quick succession in the most painful way, though. But I think Sweeney will take it. Heading to first to start the second. This brings up Corey Kretsch, who is a designated hitter today, but last night put up a fierce battle on the mound. Complete game. 6 strikeouts, only 1 walk as Sweeney is looked back to first. Also 3 runs, but none of them earned last night. So a stellar outing on the mound for Kretsch. Let's see if he can deliver at the plate, though he watches 1 strike go by. The right to look Sweeney back. He has 5 stolen bases on the year. And Sweeney takes off for the hit and run, but it's fouled off. If you're Sweeney, you got to be disappointed. He had a great jump. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. And Kretsch behind 1-2, no outs though. Here comes Bova. And Kretsch with a laser beam, right field tracking though. Sweeney, can he get back to first in time? No, he cannot. Double play. ESM with the rare 9-3 double play. Now there's 2 outs for Samson Mishral. Mishral fouls it off. They're saying it's fair. They are saying it was fair. That was a close call, but Mishral is on first with the first hit of the game. And the manager is out to argue. John Harrington not happy, having words with Jeff Harris, the home plate umpire. He does not believe that was a fair ball, and we'll take one more look at it. We did not get it. But that's okay. Runners on first in a debatable call. But as we will say every single time, how often does the manager arguing actually result in change? I've done hundreds of baseball games in my career. I've only seen it happen twice. A runner on first and 2 outs for David Stewart, the pitcher. Quickly behind 0-1 though. So the first hit of the game goes to Samson Mishral. That's actually his second hit of the season. Gotta love the Red Rams bench getting fired up here in the bottom of the second. 1-1, 2 outs, runner on first. Runner looks back, and the ball gets away from the first baseman. Jacob White couldn't hold on to it, and Mishral safely to second. That's an error on East Syracuse-Minoa. Very nearly hit Stewart. You know, you hear of pitchers' duels. I don't think that's what they're talking about. And it's time for a quick mound visit. It's been a bizarre inning, a 9-3 double play, and then a questionable foul/fair ball gets Mitchell on first. Then an errant pickoff attempt sends Mitchell to second. The last 5 minutes or so have been action-packed. 2-1 count now to Stewart. High and outside. Stewart actually 0 for 5 this season. 2 strikeouts, but 2 walks as well. Reaches base 2 out of 7 times. Someone do the math. I can't. Make it 3 for 8. As now there's runners on first and second for the Red Rams. Bova looking a little bit frustrated. And who wouldn't? You know, there's a different component to it when you're pitching to the pitcher you are facing that day. Because you're really, if there's any time to get in the head of your opponent, it's then. Now Nolan Brand steps up to bat. I don't have to call balls and strikes anymore. You can just tell from the sound of the dugout. Right across the chest, though, for strike 1. Runners on first and second. Brand wearing 15 today. Did not go, held off. And the umpire agrees with me, 2-1. Brand usually listed as 34, wearing 15 today. Two-1 away from the catcher, runners go. And now there's 2 runners in scoring position for Brand. Three and 1, runners on second and third, 2 outs for Brand. Outside, take your base. And those bases are loaded for Aaron Coe. But before Coe gets up, there's going to be a mound visit. So yeah, let's just enjoy some Three Doors Down. Why not? Coming up to Kryptonite. And Aaron Coe might need some sort of Superman-like effort. Bases are loaded, 2 outs. Aaron Coe, just a freshman. As Brand is the second walk in a row for Bova. Coe is only batting 105, 2 hits in 19 at-bats. No one's even thrown yet. Maybe they're not saying no, maybe they're saying Coe. I don't know, I was saying Boo Earns. So Coe with a lot on his plate, literally and metaphorically, watches the first strike go by. You know, he may be hitting 100 below the Mendoza line, but the Red Rams certainly see value in him as a freshman. His defense has been pretty stellar this season. Had a good arm to throw down to second. Gets away from the catcher, run comes home, and is 1-0. Red Rams are first on the board. Mitchell scores, and it is 1-0. And Coe very wisely calls time. That is a mature decision from the freshman. Interrupt the pitcher's rhythm. You see, it looks like Bova's putting a little extra mustard on it, trying to hype himself back up after just giving up a run on a wild pitch. Coe takes a mighty hack, and it's 2-2. Oh yeah, there's runners on second and third. Like I said, I'm keeping track of the graphics and keeping score. There's a lot going on here. Coe contact. Oh, that very narrowly missed a car. That sailed about 6 inches above a Jeep Cherokee. Or sorry, that's a Compass. What is that, about 2016 model? And Coe goes down with a high cheese, but the Red Rams still put one up. It is 1-0. The Red Rams are first on the board. We'll be back with the top of the third right after this. We'll see how ESM responds. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the top of the third. The Red Rams now up 1-0 over the East Syracuse-Minoa Spartans. And it is Jordan Sanson who will start off the third. Stewart still on the mound for the Red Rams. Sanson, weak contact. Over to King. Cross the diamond, gets him. One out in quick succession, courtesy of a nice throw from Carter King. Sanson legged it out, but not much he can do there. 5-3 put out will bring up Spencer Carnival, who flew out to short left field in his first time up. That was a curve so nice we got to see it twice. Good block from Coe, but luckily no one's on base, don't have to worry about it. Carnival handcuffed. 1-2 count. The Spartans' problem all year has been run support. They've had a lot of difficulty putting runs on the board, usually only averaging about 3 or 4 a game. And keep in mind, in high school, that number usually inflated. Red Rams average 6 per game. Close on the corner, but it's a full count. That kind of pitch, that's pretty much umpire's discretion there. And the killer curve retires Carnival. I hit the wrong button there. So there's 2 outs for Nate Polano. That is the third strikeout of the game for David Stewart so far, fouled off. The 0-1 falls a little outside of the zone, but Stewart now his curveball is finding more break as the game goes on, and he's able to lean on it a little bit more. Mostly using his fastball to overpower pitchers in the first couple innings. So Nate Polano, the second baseman, walked in his first at-bat. And now he has a 3-1 count to work with. Looking to get the same result twice. And that's 2 walks today for Polano. Now a runner on first for Jimmy Ferns, who struck out in his first at-bat. These curveballs are making the Spartans look silly. And you really can't blame them. There's a ton of break. Runner goes. Coe pops up. Throw to second. Is it in time? It is off base. Polano snags a bag. Count is 1-1. Make it 2-1. Ferns was 1 for 3 last night with a single. Struck out once, but also stole a base. The high curve makes it 3-1. There's 2 outs. Stewart really just has to find his way out of this inning. But he walks Ferns. Runners on first and second for Jacob White, who also struck out in his first at-bat, but now he's got a runner in scoring position and 2 outs. Strike zone has felt a little variable as time has been called, and head coach Ryan Dira will go out to the mound for a quick little talking to. Stewart's been a little streaky so far today. As we've been talking about, the last game for both of these teams was, well, last night. 5:15 start time at ESM. JD eventually took it 9-3. The Spartans actually had more hits than the Red Rams did, 8 to the Red Rams 7. However, the Spartans made 4 errors, which may have been instrumental. The Spartans almost sounding like they're trying to imitate the Red Rams bench now. Good comeback strike, though, from Stewart. Once again, Stewart has the lowest ERA on the team of 1.80, at least before this game. And White rips one foul. Of course, White's got to be happy about that. He knows just a minor adjustment, and he can take that fair. The wind picking up, cooling things off here in DeWitt, as White purposefully takes his time out of the box, trying to disrupt the rhythm of David Stewart. And now Stewart steps off the bag. Tit for tat here with a 1-2 count. Swinging strikeout, White goes down, and the East Syracuse-Minoa Spartans do not put any on the board. It was close, but White fooled by the curve. And the Red Rams hold on to a narrow 1-0 lead. We'll be back with the bottom of the third right after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the warm-ups are working fast. These teams have a bit of a history with each other, and the Red Rams are at the top of the order. Matt Alexander wants his money for nothing and his drinks for free as he steps in on the left side of the plate. Alexander struck out looking to start off the game. Perhaps affected by the wind, that fastball. This pink umbrella just got in my view during that pitch. It's outside either way. Alexander, contact. Up the middle, bobbled by the second baseman. Polano cannot hold on to it, and Alexander has a single. We can be kind and rule that a single, I think. Didn't get past the second baseman. He knocked it down. First pitch a strike to Carter King, who disagrees. The umpire has been shifting his strike zone today. Not necessarily expanding it, but it's been a little off. That one well inside. King able to get out of the way in time. Runner on first. Alexander has stolen 5 bases as well, tied for the lead on this team. Bova finds the zone. King not happy. The home plate umpire today, Jeff Harris, has preferred a very low strike zone, which really should work in King's favor as a power hitter. He can get those more uppercut launch angles. Runner takes off. There will be no throw from the catcher. Coach Dira is not happy with the way that the Spartans have been handling stolen bases, it seems. I think I heard the word either dig or deke. I'm not quite sure. Either way, a stolen base for Alexander. 2-2 count, runner on second. King watches it high. We've got a moment. Take a look at the stolen base one more time. I believe what Coach Dira was saying is that Bova is throwing from too little of a stretch, and it might technically be a balk. But a looking strikeout for Carter King puts the first out up on the board. That is the result of that lower strike zone. Something is falling from the sky. Flakes of like something brownish. Could be from a tree. I don't know. That was weird. Anyway, one strike to Dante Santos. On a normal day, there's a good eye in the at-bat from Carter King. But part of baseball is being able to readjust as Alexander slides into third. That's 2 stolen bases in this one inning. And 7 on the year for Matt Alexander, who is showing some speed on the base paths. As I was trying to say, part of baseball is adjusting to the umpire's strike zone, learning his tendencies, and adjusting your own eye to it. As Alexander comes home, is it in time? No! It certainly appeared to be. It was a close call. Take another look on your screen right now. It looks like Alexander got underneath the tag, but the umpire's view may have been slightly obstructed. And as they try to wipe off home plate one more time, it was very close. Watch Alexander. Looks like he gets underneath the tag. He was safe. I believe the tag from the pitcher, Bova, was to the left of Alexander. However, from the umpire's vantage point, he may not have been able to see it. It may have looked like it was applied to the body. Two outs now to Santos. Laser beam past the second baseman. Santos beats the throw to first and has himself a single. So a runner back on first for the Red Rams for Matt Sweeney. Sweeney was hit by a pitch in the only pitch he has seen so far this game. Runner kept honest. Santos caught in a rundown, gets back to first just in time. Santos caught snoozing momentarily. Swing and a miss from Sweeney. The throw to Santos gets him. It was another questionable call. I think that the throw definitely beat Santos, but the tag may not have. After they deked him. says Coach Ryan Deere. That's what he's upset about. We'll see how the Red Rams respond, though, after 2 stolen base attempts cut short by, in the Red Rams' opinion, the officiating. We'll see in just a moment. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the top of the 4th as the Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams wish that Section 3 has instituted video replay. 2 questionable calls on 2 stolen bases. Brad Harrington hit in the head. He says he's fine. See there, it scrapes the helmet, it looks like. However, it might have gotten his nose a little bit. He seems to be holding it. He may not have turned his head in time. It may have scraped him across the bridge of the nose. He says he's fine. But if there's any sort of blood, then concussion protocol may have to come out, and he may have to be taken out of this game just simply by the rule book. The trainer is coming, according to Coach Ryan Deere. You see it once more. He may not have turned his head in time. A very dangerous situation, of course. Everyone here, not just Brad Harrington, but both teams thankful that that could have been a lot worse, and it was not. Harrington, very conscious. Doesn't look like he's concussed at all, at least from my non-medical opinion. Once the trainer comes out, that's his say. Trainer, of course, occupied. The lacrosse game going on right now, so that may be why it's taking him a few minutes. He is coming in the cart, though. Our trainer, Dave Schultz, pulling up right behind us in the golf cart, excuse me. Of course, all of us here at JDTV are hoping Harrington is perfectly fine. However, I would have to imagine he will probably be taken out of the game as a precaution. And here's trainer Dave Schultz, finally makes his way to the diamond. Take one more look. The curveball attempt by Stewart got away from him, hit Matt Harrington in the nose. Brad Harrington. Hit Brad Harrington in the nose. And we know how bad this sort of thing could be. We saw it with Kevin Pillar just a few days ago. Pillar completely broke his nose. And if Harrington just needs a little bit of wiping with a towel, then that's the best possible result from a play like that. Obviously a bad situation that could be a lot worse. So we're thankful for that. They're going to sit Harrington down. Obviously, this game is going to be delayed for a little bit as the trainer attends to Harrington. And afterwards, we may talk about the implications on the Red Rams and the Spartans, a delay of this caliber. But for now, all eyes and all concern is on Harrington. We're going to step away for a little bit. We'll be right back. A round of applause for Brad Harrington as he comes out of the game. And the East Syracuse-Minoa Spartans will now have to figure out who is going to take his place on the base paths. If you're just joining us, this is what's causing the delay. Brad Harrington hit across the nose by an errant curveball from David Stewart. It could have been a much worse scene than it was. Thank goodness Harrington is okay, walking off the field under his own power. Wiped off by the trainer. He is lacerated on the bridge of the nose. But hopefully, from the looks of it, it's no worse than that. It appears that the pinch runner for the Spartans will be number 4, Jeff Tilley. Although we'll try to confirm that to the umpire literally by shouting at him, because they're not going to come over to us either way. If we don't, I mean, he's walking over to the base, so it or he's just taking wind sprints first. Let me ask. So it looks like Tilley just a pinch runner for now. We'll see who takes his place once the Spartans are on defense. But Tilley a temporary pinch runner on first. They actually have to water down the turf where where some of the blood was, out of concern for the playing condition. Now, on a lighthearted note, that's actually the second blood-related delay we've had this year on JDTV. The first was during a JV basketball game. The player lost a tooth. We had a 15-minute delay to find the tooth. But Tilley will take over at first for Harrington. Best wishes to him. Joe Federico will step up to bat. Now the question really becomes, how will this affect the game? That was a very long delay, which could put a wrench in both of these teams' plans. And the Spartans may find themselves fired up, wanting to play for Harrington. As Harrington is taken off the card, it looks like his nose is blocked up by some gauze. So it may have been more than a laceration across the nose. It may have hit the nose itself and caused some bleeding. Federico rips one into left field. The first hit of the day for the Spartans, no longer a no-hitter. Though, hey, Stewart took it halfway. Now runners on first and second for Garrett Hockey. You have to feel for Stewart, too. That was his first hit batsman of the season. And not only was it his first hit batsman of the season, but, well, frankly, he hit Harrington in the head. And as a pitcher, that rattles you. Because no one wants to have to go through that, and you feel for the player, your comrades in arms at the end of the day. And you never want to hurt anybody. So Stewart also faces the monumental task of getting his own head back into this game. And he gives up a hit and 3 straight balls. Don't forget, if you have an opinion, we have a comment section live and right in front of us, and we'll take a look and read out anything we like. Extend some well wishes to Harrington. Tell us how you think the game's going to go, etc., etc. Finally, a strike from Stewart. And Stewart's now got to get out of this jam, and there's no outs as Weekly hit to shortstop. The flip from Alexander. They will get the force at third. A fielder's choice for Hockey. So runners are still first and second. Still on first and second. Swing and a miss to Vinny Bova. The wind has died down and the heat is picking back up here in DeWitt. Bova swinging for the fences, and that one hits the road on the right side. Bova's first at bat stopped by a great diving grab by Nolan Brand all the way back in the second inning. That might have been off the hands, that might have actually been off the grip tape on the bat. Either way, with a full swing, can't be called for a hit by pitch. In order to take your base, you cannot swing at it. And Bova lays off. Throw by Coe is off base, and it goes into the outfield. The runners will not advance due to some confusion. A lucky break for the Red Rams. That could have been ugly. A slightly errant throw by Aaron Coe. Now, props to Coe, as he had the heads-up wherewithal to realize that the runners were confused as well and were off the bases, tried to get one snoozing at second. The throw, though, was to the left and found its way to the outfield, but the runners still had no idea what was going on and did not advance. So that could have been way worse. Bova, chopper to Alexander. No throw. Finds the runner at third, and he's in a rundown. Tag is applied. He got him. They look the runner back who was trying to advance to third in the confusion. The Red Rams working hard. That was a 6-5 fielder's choice, but it was a lot more complicated than that. That was Federico called out. 2 outs now. Popped up and out of play. 2 fielders' choices in a row, and runners are still on first and second. Now with 2 outs, though. Good pitch, better eye. That's Jordan Sanson. Watches another ball go by. Two and one, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Stewart deals. It's 2-2. Hit deep, left field, back, and caught by Santos. Good attempt by Sanson, but not enough. The Red Rams escape a jam in the top of the fourth, the longest top of the fourth we have seen all season. Very well hit from Jordan Sanson, but Santos tracks it down in the sun, perhaps helped by the clouds, and that is the end of the top of the fourth. We'll be right back with the bottom right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the bottom of the fourth here in DeWitt, New York. Sam Gelfand, the voice of the Red Rams, on the call as the Red Rams take on the Spartans, holding narrow 1-0 lead, hoping to duplicate the successes of last night as they did successfully beat the Spartans 9-3. Matt Sweeney will get a second chance at bat and takes one strike. The bottom of the third ended after a questionable caught-stealing call on Dante Santos. Looked to have beaten the tag, but the umpire didn't feel so. At the very least, the throw beat Santos, but the tag, at least in the opinion of our instant replay, did not. However, Section 3 does not allow instant replay to be used as an umpiring tool. Counts as 2-1 to Sweeney. Sweeney batting .241, but a .313 on base percentage. 7 hits, only one of them a double. And only 2 walks, so if he's getting on base, it's most likely going to be from a single. Pops it up right side, out of play. You know, Sweeney started off the season as a leadoff hitter. He's batting 4th today. Kind of a curious lineup. Carter King, by far the best power hitter on the Red Rams, actually batting 2nd. Then again, pitcher's batting 7th, so I'm guessing Coach Dira a fan of sabermetrics. Sweeney digs under it. Blooper drops into right field. Sweeney on board with a single. What'd I tell you? Now Corey Kretsch will step up to bat. Kretsch blooper on the ground to short. Sweeney safe at second. They'll go for the fielder's choice. Runner on second now, and 1 out for Samson Mishral. Mishral watches the first strike go by. It was an eventful top of the 4th for sure, as Brad Harrington hit in the face, and Mishral hit the ball into left. Runner is waved around. Ball pops out of the glove of the left fielder. 1 run scores. Mishral, stand-up double. Take it in, kid, you earned it. An RBI double for Samson Mishral makes it 2-0. Now it's David Stewart up to bat. And Stewart holds off. It appears, by the way, that the catcher for ESM is now Kevin Stewart. I think that says number 9 on the back of that jersey. Could be number 8. There is an 8 as well. We'll try to get confirmation. Outside, 3-0 now to Stewart. Mishral, by the way, that was his 2nd hit of the game, his 3rd of the season, his first extra base hit. A strike. Bova threw before Stewart was clearly ready. but the umpire's going to let that slide. And Stewart on the ground to first. First baseman steps on the bag himself. Mishroll to third, advancing the runner. Good small ball. So a runner on third, 2 outs now for Nolan Brand. Good take. Brand walked in his first at-bat, got to second on a wild pitch, didn't get to do anything more than that. There's that low strike zone employed by the umpire. So the Red Rams do have to readjust to that. Mishroll taking a hefty lead at third. 2 outs, so he'll try to go home. Blooper, left field caught. So the damage stopped at 1. It is 2-0 now. The Red Rams go into the 5th with a little bit more cushion, courtesy of an RBI double by Samson Mishroll. We'll be right back after this. Thank you so very much for joining us here on JDTV. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the JD Diamond here in DeWitt, New York. Sam Gelfand, the voice of the Red Rams, as Spencer Carnival will start off ESM with the top of the order. David Stewart still on the mound. Close call, good pitch, but the umpire isn't having it. Carnival on the ground. Charging is Alexander. Throw over to first, textbook. Alexander flashing the leather and making a great running throw, almost Jeter-esque. Appropriate considering his dad, a scout for the New York Yankees. So perhaps the most favorable comparison I can make. Hit by Polano. Sliding grab off the glove. An E8 sends Polano to second. Matt Sweeney, a slight misjudgment. And Polano on second. However, that is ruled an error. If it makes contact with the glove, general rule is it's an error. So Polano doesn't get to add a double to his name, as Jimmy Ferns takes one a little too close for comfort. The second hit batter of the day. The JD coach is out of the dugout, perhaps thinking about when Stewart's day might be done, as Jacob White will step up to bat. White 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Whiffs on the first. Watches the low heat. It is 1-1 with 2 runners on, 1 out. This mask of mine getting a little itchy. Of course, still wearing masks here at JDTV. That is the school rule, whether or not the CDC has other ideas. Fouled off by White. Stewart avoiding throwing from the stretch, and yet still taking more of his time than Vinny Bova of VSM has been, who's really been allowing hitters no room to breathe all game, as White will call timeout wisely. Of course, plenty of safety precautions for us to follow here at JDTV. Is in the dirt, full count. We are still socially distanced, myself and our camera operator today, Tyler Aiken. Both of us fully vaccinated as well. White hits it on the ground. King will get the force. And it's a fielder's choice. Two outs now for the new catcher. That is number 9, Kevin Stewart.
Here we go, Stu. Fire it in there, kid.
2-0 now to Stewart.
Attaboy.
Fouled off.
Way to fire it in there.
Keep it up, kiddo.
Stewart to Stewart. On the ground past Stewart. On the ground into center field. Runner being waved around third. Long distance call does not arrive in time, and the East Syracuse-Minoa Spartans are on the board. It's 2-1. Kevin Stewart comes in as an emergency substitute after an injury. And he puts the Spartans on the board for the first run of the game. Stewart's day is done. We'll see who the new pitcher is and calculate his final line. We'll be right back after this pitching change. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The new pitcher, Jake Ogata. Hums one in for the first strike. David Stewart's day is done. His final line, 4 2/3 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts, 4 walks, 2 hits, 1 earned run, and 2 hits batsman. As Federico hits it foul and well out of play.
Way out ahead of him here. Way out ahead of him here. Here we go. 2 strikes. Here we go. Pitcher out here.
Got to adjust my scorecard here. 0-2, Ogata fouled off again. Ogata with a 4.91 ERA and 3 2/3 innings pitched this season. Behind the batter. That's going to be a ball. Frankly, if that was called a strike, I'd be quite surprised. And I think I'd call for Jeff Harris's umpiring license. 1-2, 2 outs. On the ground, over Ogata's head. Diving grab by Alexander. He cannot step on any bag in time or make a throw, and it is a single, despite the great effort. Bases are loaded now, 2 outs. Hit into center field. Brought down by Sweeney. And that will end a messy top of the 5th. We head to the bottom now. Quick pitching change. Luckily, Sweeney inherits no earned runs. We'll be back with the bottom of the 5th. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the JD Diamond. As Aaron Coe stepped up to bat to the sound of 3 doors down, it is 2-1. 1 run scored in the last inning. Bova still on the mound for ESM. Coe drops the bunt. Bova can't let it roll foul. Neither can the catcher Stewart, and he's off the bag. Bunting for a single, Aaron Coe. Snuck a bunt right by him. And a runner on for the Red Rams in quick fashion. Aaron Coe thinking on his feet, his third hit of the season. It brings up Matt Alexander with a runner on. Alexander 1 for 2 today. Swings at a really high pitch, not the greatest eye. It's foul. Is there room to play it? No. One more time. Look at Coe think on his feet. It's a drag bunt. Looked like it might have rolled foul. Stewart really had no choice but to let Coe reach his base. Quick confusion as to who had to grab the foul ball, it looks like. The unfortunate honor goes to Will Duran. Oh, Will Duran, a substitute runner for Aaron Coe. Coe may be just coming off temporarily. I believe you can have a courtesy runner. So pinch runner on, it's Will Duran. 1-1, no outs. Duran's safe. A one-run lead, far too slim for the Red Rams. Pitch outside, it's 2-1. Alexander singled in his last at-bat, then stole 2 bases. Bova, low away from Stewart. Duran advances to second. Three 3-1 count to Alexander. Alexander draws his 11th walk of the season. Now it's Carter King. King, unfortunate luck at the plate today. 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts. Had trouble adjusting to the new zone prescribed by the home plate umpire. As he fouls one off of the fence, hits some ivy. Be careful getting that ball. Remember, 3 leaves, let it be. I don't know if it's poison ivy or not. It could be. It's ivy. Well, a parent's going to traverse the ivy and brave the conditions as it's a 1-0 count. Actually, it should be 1-1. With the foul ball, I think the scoreboard's behind. Wind picking up. Stewart drops it. That ball seems to be lost in the ivy. Oh, a different parent subbing in. We'll keep you updated as to how that goes. 3-1 count. King with the hitter's count. Can he hit? Well, that's a walk. And Duran heads up. Though he's supposed to be safe anyway because that's ball 4. He's on second, so he has to advance to third. There's runners on first and second. That was ball 4, runners on first and second, runner heads to third. That's ball 4. That's ball 4.
We got 4 behind the plate, too.
So it seems that everyone had 4 balls except for the umpire. Now ESM's manager not happy. Will Duran is awarded third base. ESM believes there was 3 balls. We behind home plate and in the dugout have 4. The most convoluted walk for Carter King I have ever seen in my life. The bases are now loaded. Now wait, Carter King coming off of first base. It's not a walk. So what happens now? Duran, is he on third? Is he not? Coach Dira. Yeah, it seems that there is mass confusion in the ballpark as to whether or not that was ball 3 or 4. We have 4 balls, so does the dugout, so does the game's official scorekeeper. ESM had 3 balls. So this determines whether or not Carter King gets to take first base and whether or not Will Duran is on third, excuse me. I mean, we have our score bug here. You see it. There was clearly a 3-1 count at the end of that play. It is still completely unclear what is happening or what the official ruling is going to be. We're going to get it to you as soon as we figure it out. But I'm not sure anyone on the field has figured it out. Duran is out at third. It's 3-1. Duran is out at third. It is 3-1. There is only 1 runner on, and Carter King still up to bat. But they will intentionally walk him. Perhaps as a sort of wartime compromise. With the Red Rams, they intentionally walk Carter King. But Duran out at third. So Dante Santos up to bat now. That took 5 minutes to figure out. And Santos ready to work right away, pops it up to center field. Falls off the charts, and the runners will not advance. 2 outs now, runners on first and second. And there have been so many interruptions of momentum in this game, whether it be from officiating confusion or the unfortunate injury to Brad Harrington. It's hard for the Red Rams to get anything together. You have to imagine the same would go for ESM, but they seem to be benefiting from it, as it's the Red Rams who are stringing together momentum, which is promptly stopped. So it's 2 outs, 2 on for Matt Sweeney, who singled and then later scored in his last at-bat. Sweeney with a frozen rope left center field. Run's going to score. Bobbled by the left fielder. King all the way to third. He will hold up there. An RBI stand-up double for Matt Sweeney. His second extra base hit of the year makes it 3-1. Sweeney with a clutch double, bringing home Alexander, sending King to third. It's 3-1, and discussions as to whether or not Boba's day is done from the ESM skipper, John Harrington. This is still very much anybody's game. And Bova is going to stay on the mound. If you're just joining us, you've missed a lot. Corey Kretsch now will step up to bat. Pitch from Bova. Inside, Kretsch holds off. There has been copious confusion all game today. It's been one for the ages, one way or another. But really, it's emblematic of the kind of rivalry these two teams have. Jamesville-DeWitt and East Syracuse-Minoa, one of the fiercest rivalries in Section 3. One and two count now to Kretsch. Kretsch is 0 for 2, hit into a double play in his first at-bat. Fielder's choice the second. Low 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on, and the Red Rams up by 2. Still a safe situation. The Red Rams need some more run support. Bova deals, Kretsch fouls off. Think either way, this game is making the end of the year highlight reel.
Go 2-3, come on, drive this ball. Drive it out there.
Vinny Bova kicks, deals from the stretch, strike 3. A big strikeout for Bova. Kretsch affected by the expanded strike zone of the umpire, but that is the end of the 5th inning. We head to the 6th. The Red Rams up by 2. We'll see what happens after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the top of the 6th inning as our camera operator, Tyler Aitken, is on the case as to whether or not there were 3 balls or 4. This is the great news about streaming is we can go back and rewatch our own stream and try to figure it out as Vinny Bova will step up to the plate. Jake Ogata, the pitcher. First pitch fouled off. So our initial count was 4, as was the JD bench. And to our knowledge, the official scorekeeper, but we're going to have to see whether or not that was correct as Bova fouls off a second pitch, same place. So we are on the case here at JDTV. Bova overadjusts, it's foul. Good hustle, though, from Carter King. Bova with 3 pitches fouled off in quick succession. As the pitcher trying to help himself, Ogata deals. Swing and strikeout. So Bova with a big strikeout to start the 6th inning. Jake Ogata gets his second out of this outing. Jordan Sanson watches it go by. Flew out to left, a very loud out in his last at-bat. Sanson playing right field today. Ogata reliant on his fastball, and there's no reason not to be when you can get swings like that. And a swing like that, too. Working from 2-0 to 2-2, mark of a good pitcher. Ogata before this game, 3 strikeouts and 3 2/3 of work. The umpire's been calling him low all game, but even that was a little too low for him. Digging in is Sanson. Throw across the diamond from Alexander gets him. Alexander has been a defensive rock in the 6 hole this season for JD. So we're double checking, but cameraman Tyler Aitken is fairly positive that it was actually 3 balls. In which case we apologize for all the hoopla. On the ground by Carnival. Picked up by King. Long throw too low. Gets away from Brand. That's a single with a throwing error. Spencer Carnival on second now. That would be a throwing error, so in E5. Now Nate Polano got to second on an E8 in his last at-bat. Swings and misses at the first. Ogata looks the runner back at second. Fastball outside, 1-1. In at the feet, 2-1. Ogata, something of a one-pitch pitcher so far, at least in this game, but Hasn't been too unsuccessful pitching to contact. Now I can tell you for sure that's 3 balls. The heat still somewhat unrelenting here. And just as it is from Ogata. Forecast said 82 degrees, but it certainly feels more than that. Maybe it's because we've been out here for a couple hours. Way too far behind it. Sends him to the principal's office. That is the end of the top of the 6th. We head to the bottom of the 6th. The Red Rams hoping to expand their lead. The bottom of the 6th about to begin with a new pitcher on the mound. For East Syracuse-Minoa, it is Jacob White, the former first baseman, Vinny Boba's final line. 5 innings pitched, 7 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, and 1 hit batsman. And Samson Mitchell, who had an RBI double in his last at-bat, steps up and he gets another hit. 3 on the day for Mitchell. Mitchell comes into the game batting .067 with 1 hit in 15 at-bats, and he has 3 today. Extremely wild pitch, Mitchell to second. Ogata takes a strike. It is 1-1. Bunt attempt fouled off. So in between innings, we took a look at the stream, and we do apologize for making such a fuss. There was, in fact, 3 balls. It seems that when I look down to adjust the score on my score sheet here. The 0-1 count to Carter King was put up on the scoreboard in center field as 1-0. So I admit I missed the pitch. I was not able to fact check correctly. And I contributed to some incredible confusion, to which I apologize, but everything's been worked out now. Runner goes, completely ignored by White. White caught snoozing. And a swing and a miss for Ogata, striking him out, but the runner advances to third. Now it's Nolan Brand. With a chopper right back to first, he'll step on the bag, but the run scores. It's 4-1. Nolan Brand with the run batted in. Aaron Coe now. Fails off the first pitch. Brand gets himself the RBI in the books. Mitchell scores. Coe is 1 for 2. That excellent drag bunt last time up. Jacob White, a side armor, and I tell you from personal experience, while it can feel more natural to some people's arms, it certainly is tough to control. Especially as a lefty side armor, which is not something you see every day. And Coe gets over the head of the shortstop. He is 2 for 3 today. The Red Rams putting a little something together. And now Matt Alexander will step up to bat. It's a funny thing being a side armor because usually coaches discourage players from pitching side arm as that one's fouled off. And took a chunk off the fence, I think. Unless that fence post is already broken. Most coaches discourage people from becoming side armors because of the strain it puts on your arm if you do it incorrectly. But the funny thing is, for some people, it actually reduces arm strain. It's kind of a however your rotator cuff works. Throwing sidearm, though, can lead to greater break on your breaking balls. Outside 3-1. And of course, different release angle, harder for the pitcher or for the batters, to try and read. Alexander draws his second walk of the game. Now there's runners on first and second for Carter King, who gets a chance at redemption after whatever you would call his last at-bat. King was intentionally walked as a peace offering by ESM. And they ain't doing it this time. Hit high and deep to right center field. Touch 'em all! Carter King with a 3-run jack to right center field, the deepest part of the ballpark, going about 385 feet. And it is 7-1. And now they're saying it's a ground rule double. Let's check the replay because they say it bounced over the fence. Take a look. It very clearly did not bounce. It was over the fence. It bounced when it hit the ground behind the fence. And they're calling it a ground rule double. So Carter King, at least to his opinion, has a walk and a base runner taken away from him in one at bat, and then the next one he has a home run taken away from him. You can see it clearly on the replay. I will show it again. That ball bounces when it is over the fence. So now it is 5-1, not 7-1. With runners on second and third. They're calling it a ground rule double. Still an RBI for King, but a rightful home run taken away from him off the glove of White. One run will score. And he's safe at first. The 10th hit of the day for the Red Rams. White getting rocked and maybe in a little bit of pain after that ball hit off of his glove. White says he's not hurt though. So runners are at the corners at 6-1. Here in the bottom of the sixth. Carter King, though, the story of the day. Despite the RBI single by Dante Santos. And King safe at home. So even if King's home run gets taken away from him, the score remains the same. Double steal is successful. And it's 7-1. Sweeney misses the cars in the parking lot by about 10 feet. It is 0-2 to him as we try to... This is moving faster than we can keep score. Sweeney popped up one more time. Heads up. Into the wilderness. So as I was trying to say before Carter King scored, home run might have been taken away from him, but the score will remain the same. Baltimore chop by Sweeney. He cannot leg it out in time. The Red Rams up 7-1 now as we head to the top of the seventh, potentially the final half inning of the game. We'll see what happens next right after this, because if this game has taught us anything, you never know what's coming next. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to potentially the final half inning of the game. Jake Ogata still on the mound as JD leads 7-1, a 4-run sixth inning. Jimmy Ferns takes a mighty hack and fouls it off. So you may have heard of Robin Ventura's Grand Slam single, but how about Carter King's 3-run ground rule double? As we can't show you the replay again at this point, the way our replay system works, it would only bring up the last replay we captured. Counts now 1-2. But what was called a ground rule double for Carter King very clearly cleared the 375-foot right center field fence. Strikeout for Ogata. Now Jacob White, the pitcher, who was 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts, is fooled by the high heat. This has been one of the most confusing games of baseball I've ever seen. I can't say it's number one. The most confusing game I ever called. No one had any numbers on their jerseys and they were substituting players in and out at will. That was pretty bad. So it's not as bad as that, but this is certainly far from a clear-cut game of baseball as there's 0-2 count to Jacob White and 1 out. Ogata fires. White finally gets aluminum on it. Torn into the wilderness beyond the left field fence, but foul. Curveball too high. And a golden sombrero for Jacob White. Completes the strikeout hat trick. All 3 of them swinging. Got to respect him for taking the hacks, though. Now it's Kevin Stewart, the emergency substitute after Brad Harrington got hit in the face by a pitch. Had a double in his only at-bat. Contact, and Alexander slips in the dirt. Two for 2 is Kevin Stewart. But you see Alexander is unable to get the proper traction in the dirt. Can't judge the ball effectively, and now there's a run around first with 2 outs. Felled off right back to us. 0-1 the count. Fired past Joe Federico. 0-2. Stewart not taking an especially large lead on first, at least not during those first 2 pitches. Ogata hoping to close the book.
Looking good, Jake. All right.
And the umpire feels it dropped a little too early before it passed over the plate. Though, frankly, let's be honest, I'm not sure how this umpire, Jeff Harris, is at judging distance. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, that's the game. Jake Ogata closes it out. And while it wasn't pretty, the Red Rams have defeated the Syracuse-Minoa Spartans 7-1. A confusing game to say the least. As the players doff their caps to each other, no handshakes because of COVID regulations. Your final score 7-1. some questions with counts, with officiating, with an injury. It was a gritty game of baseball, but at the end of the day, the Red Rams defeat the Spartans 2 days in a row, 9-3 last night, 7-1 today, and that is something they will take with them as they go in to play Auburn on Monday. We hope that you join us here for that on JDTV. In the meantime, my name is Sam Gelfand, the voice of the Red Rams. On behalf of my camera operator, Tyler Aitken, and all of us here at Section 3 Athletics, we would like to wish you a very good rest of your day, wherever you may be.